Remember during the pandemic how you felt like you were experiencing something astonishing when Joe Rogan had the temerity to say, well, I'm just treating this thing myself. I'm just going to take some other microbial medications. Yeah, I sweat out in 48 hours.
And turns out I got COVID. So we immediately threw the kitchen sink at it. All kinds of meds, monoclonal antibodies, ivermectin, Z-Pak. And so here we are on Wednesday, and I feel great.
Just remind yourself of this. It was simply a man saying, these are the health measures that I undertook for myself as a free individual. For this crime, the corporate forces of media, umbrellaed by a group called the TNI, remember that, add that to your list of acronyms, turned on him with ferocious and demonic force. He can't take ivermectin. Do you remember the SNL sketches?
Here's some zinc and ayahuasca and some horse medicine.
Do you remember the CNN editorials? Do you remember the constant condemnation simply because he had committed the crime of garnering an audience by being his authentic self? Well, now we know that ivermectin and CNN anchors like Chris Como, who you've probably heard of, are using ivermectin themselves. Once you've absorbed that seemingly simple and relatively trivial fact, consider what they're telling you now. Consider what your own intuition is telling you now. Consider what's being discussed in these spaces, and so that I'm not being obscure or opaque, that there is an event coming. That we will see significant events that legitimize further centralized authoritarianism. That democracy, or whatever word you would prefer for some constitutional, representative system of government that's about the expression of your will and your right to be free, it is under threat, significant threat. And it's not under threat because of demagogic populists and ethno-nationalists revoking the mythologies of a century ago, or maybe ancient traditions that connect people to their land, who knows. It's under threat because of centralized authoritarianism that's using safety and protection as leverage for control, exactly as they did during the pandemic period. And now we can see that they were lying.